Welcome into the Los Angeles Lakers Report by Chat Sports. I'm Marshall Green. The NBA trade deadline has come and gone, and I must say that Rob Pelinka, I think, pulled out an absolute masterclass of an NBA trade deadline. He was wheeling and dealing, and I truly believe that he has put this Los Angeles Lakers team in a spot to not only compete in the Western Conference, but to be a contender to get to the NBA Finals. This team is very, very talented now. And let's just clap it up for Rob Pelinka, because I think we've all been pretty tough on him, especially after he got that contract extension. But the trade deadline is come and gone. The Lakers made some moves. But the next really event and part of the NBA calendar is the NBA buyout season. And you always see these players get bought out after they get traded at the deadline. And they come and they sign onto teams. And they're really actually factors going in to the NBA playoffs. I think the Lakers could maybe pick up one of these guys we're going to talk about. We actually got 13 different buyout candidates that we think LA could target. And let's start with maybe a guard off the bench that won't have to move too far. That is Reggie Jackson, formerly of the Los Angeles Clippers, and now the Charlotte Hornets. It just kind of went south for Reggie with the Clippers. Wasn't really given that much effort on defense. He also really wasn't hitting the outside shot that much as well. And it just seemed like things kind of soured. Gave you 11 points per game this year so far. 3.5 assists, shoots 42% from the field. And the Lakers are looking kind of for a Russell Westbrook replacement, I would say, off the bench to play point guard. I think Reggie Jackson fits that mold. I think it actually does make a lot of sense. And I would not be shocked if we saw that within the next coming couple of days. Let me ask you, though. We got 12 more guys to get to, but should the Lakers sign Reggie Jackson after he gets bought out, which sounds like it's going to happen in Charlotte? Type S for sign, type P for pass, and make sure you guys are subscribed, because I think if you were subscribed during the NBA trade deadline, we showed you when the Los Angeles Lakers make a move, we're going to get you guys a video as soon as possible. Whether it's me or somebody else here at the Chat Sports Studio, we are dedicated to the Lakers Report and getting you guys videos when news come out. So if the Lakers sign someone off the buyout market, we're going to get you guys a video. Go down right now, hit that big red sub button, and help the Lakers Report get to 50,000 subscribers, because we're almost there. Could John Wall be a guy that the Lakers look to target after he was traded in somewhat of a funny fashion back to the Houston Rockets? He was on that podcast a couple of weeks ago, pretty much talking about how Houston is a dumpster fire of an organization and they don't try to win ball games. Then he got traded back to Houston. I can almost guarantee he will not play any games for Houston, as he is expected to be bought out. Could it be a Russell Westbrook replacement? Maybe, but I think I lean more towards Reggie Jackson. Kevin Love. Could we reunite Love with LeBron, this time in LA and not in Cleveland? Look, I am not against Kevin Love playing for the Los Angeles Lakers, as he has fallen out of the rotation for the Cleveland Cavaliers, scoring just 8.5 points per night this year, still giving you 7 rebounds. He's a good playmaker at that power forward spot, 2 assists per game. Field goal percentage is pretty low, but it's really because he only takes threes at this point in his career. Still a great outside shooter. I think the Lakers could use some front court help that could stretch the floor and maybe play alongside a guy like Anthony Davis at the 5 and not have to play LeBron at the 4 so many minutes. We heard a rumor that that was really a target for Rob Pelinka and this staff. They don't want to continue to play LeBron at the 4. So I think if you're looking for a guy that can come off the bench, light it up from 3, I think Kevin Love fits that mold really, really well. If you're looking for a vet that could just come off the bench, play some D, hit some shots from deep, that's Danny Green. He's got a whole bunch of playoff experience. He's played in some of the biggest moments in NBA history. And he's a guy that you could just count on. Good locker room guy. Him and LeBron are boys. I think it makes some sense. I don't know how much gas he's got left in the tank. I still can't get over that ACL tear he had in the playoffs last year when Buddy just fell on his leg. That was disgusting. Incredible he's come back from that. Look, if he's trying to make a run at another title and do it in the purple and gold, I'd be down. Bring back Danny Green. What about a veteran big man that can kind of defend the rim? And he's a good guy with long arms, plays the passing lanes well, might have the worst hands in the NBA when it comes to actually catching the basketball. But Nerlens Noel is still a serviceable piece. He would definitely help this team, but I think you might kind of be shored up in the front court now. I absolutely love the Mo Bamba deal. That's going to make this team much better and much more dynamic and versatile. But Nerlens Noel, he's a good rim protector, could be an option. And same kind of applies for Khem Birch. He's a guy that, just does the dirty work. Your classic big man. If the Lakers want to add another big man to this roster, I prefer Noel over Birch. Birch this year giving you not playing too much, just 2.2 points per game, less than 2 rebounds per game. He's a little bit smaller as well, just 6'9", 233. Well, Nerlens Noel is a true 6'11", got real long arms. I'd prefer Noel over Birch, but definitely a guy that will be a target for a lot of teams and maybe even the Los Angeles Lakers. If you want somewhat of a hybrid, I would say, between Noel and Birch, and more of a vet, and a guy that kind of fits that same mold as Danny Green, played in some big-time games. He's a vet, can step outside, hit some shots, and give you that, defensive versatility. What about Serge Ibaka? He is expected to be bought out by the Indiana Pacers, and if the Lakers are looking for a vet to come off the bench, give you some front court minutes, I'd not be opposed at Ibaka being that guy. One of my favorite players, or used to be favorite players in the NBA because he was an absolute dog on 2K. That's Will Barton. The dude has the microwave badge on Hall of Fame. He's just so fun to watch. Not that same guy that he once was with the Denver Nuggets this year, shooting less than 38% or 39% from three. Still giving you 7.7 points per night. He can come in, get you buckets. Could be, a scorer off the bench for LA to look at, but there's a couple more guys I'm more interested in that the Lakers could look at, and we'll talk about those coming up in a second. But first, I want to tell you guys about our proud sportsbook partner, and that being BetUS. When you go to chatsports.com/Lakers and use that promo code Lakers125, they're going to match your initial deposit with a 125% deposit bonus. So if you put $100 into your account, they're going to give you a free $125. You'll have $225 to bet with. And lay some lettuce on the line for the Super Bowl this weekend. It's out in the West. And you got the Chiefs, Eagles, Mahomes, Andy Reid playing against the Philadelphia Eagles, and Jalen Hurts and Nick Sirianni. I'm taking the Chiefs money line, but I'm making my bets most importantly with BetUS. You can do the same. Go to chatsports.com/Lakers and make sure you use the promo code right here. It's Lakers125. Another guy that I think could be someone that the Lakers have their eyes on is Richaun Holmes. Had a good season a couple of years ago with the Sacramento Kings, but he's kind of just fallen out of the rotation. I believe he just started one game this season. I could see the Kings moving on from him, and if they want to keep him out west and the Lakers want a guy that can rebound the basketball and has a nice little soft touch around the rim, Holmes definitely fits that description. Terrence Ross was the player I was talking about when mentioning Will Barton. I would prefer Terrence Ross over Will Barton. I think at this point in his career is just a better player than what Will Barton is, and he can absolutely shoot the lights out of the basketball. Shooting still 43% from the field. He can heat up. He's electric in the fast break. Gets out in the open court, can still throw down some nasty dunks. I think he's a guy that the Lakers should 100% look at. Come off the bench, get some buckets, play alongside LeBron and AD a little bit, be a catch-and-shoot guy for them, and push the pace a little bit. I'm a fan of Terrence Ross still. I think he makes a lot of sense for the Lakers. That's a guy I'm keeping my eye on. We talked that maybe the Lakers needed another backup point guard. And what about bringing George Hill? He's played a lot of games in the NBA, still having a pretty damn good season, still efficient, can still catch and shoot it from the outside. I think he still wants to be on a team where he can play and compete. And if he's bought out by Indiana, I think the Lakers make a lot of sense for him. They need a backup guard, and George Hill, he's as steady as they come. Dwayne Dedmon is another big man that the Lakers could look at after he is expected to be bought out by the San Antonio Spurs. I like Dedmon. Got kind of weird down there in Miami with him and Eric Spoelstra. They had a little bit of a beef, but I think he's still a good player. And look, if the Lakers think they want a veteran big man, he's definitely one to look at. Furkan Korkmaz is the last player we're going to talk about on this show. A 3-and-D guy. He really isn't playing much minutes this year. He's a serviceable player. Could be a depth piece for the Lakers. But there's just other guys on this list. Like, I'd rather have Terrence Ross than Furkan Korkmaz. But if you're looking for a guy that really only plays defense and can shoot some threes, that's Korkmaz. And you know what? That doesn't sound like too bad of a fit next to good old King James. We showed you 13 guys. If I had to choose any, honestly, I'd probably go Terrence Ross. I think I need another wing that can knock down some shots and score buckets on their own. I also like George Hill off the bench, be that backup point guard. There's a couple options you can go. I want to hear from you, though. Name a player the Lakers should sign in the NBA buyout market. We appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see you next time.